The world began to fade to black, held back by biting her lips enough to draw blood. There wasn't even enough time to tear off some of her clothes in an attempt to stop the flow of blood. Even if it was only a little time ago, Claire tried not to think about it, though her eyes couldn't help but glance at it. The blood continued to drain out of her body from the stump that used to be where her left arm was. Gritting her teeth, she glanced at the dead horned wolf. At least I was able to take down one of them this time. Claire glared at the two other horned wolves. A corner of her mouth lifted in a smirk. It's nice to see the two of you are cautious. One of the horned wolves had a portion of its face burned off from Claire's unsuccessful attack. Her aim with her handgun faltering at the last moment from the blood loss and losing consciousness for only a moment. Though I missed, the two of them are being more cautious. I really messed up by concentrating on my minor victory at killing one of them, letting one of those things to successfully attack my arm. Claire clenched her teeth from both the pain of her arm and the memory of having the teeth of the horned wolf clamped down before tearing her limb off. Regaining her strength slightly, Claire lifted up her handgun and aimed it at one of the wolves. The beam passed by the creature as it leapt to the side. Unable to hold on any longer, her gun dropped out of her grip. Shortly after, she crumpled onto the soft grass with the ground soaking up the thick red blood. "Welcome back," Darlena spoke out in a cheerful voice as though it were greeting Claire, who had gone off on a short trip. Even if her body was fully recovered, Claire had to hold her head with one of her hands. It felt as though there was a feeling of exhaustion built up inside of her. The sound of Darlena clapping made her look at the robot with the eye that wasn't covered with her hand. "I'd like to congratulate you on the process. Even if it took you a little time to kill the first horned wolf, you were still able to subdue it, with the added two," Darlena said encouragingly to Claire. "Even if you had just recently graduated from killing two horned wolves, you're progressing faster than was anticipated." Clicking her tongue, Claire glared at the robot, the source of annoyance at the moment. By how much? Claire was curious about how much of a deviation she caused compared to the projections. An hour. Darlena had the same smile on its face as it announced such a small figure. Not wanting to get worked up, Claire shrugged off the strange mannerism of the robot, sighing, "I feel like I've been here for weeks." "You have," Darlena answered. "What?" Claire yelled out at the robot. In her mind, she imagined Chelsea and the other MPs scouring desperately around the fort to locate both her and Hannah. Giggling, Darlena said, "Though that's time inside of this environment." Not even knowing how to respond, Claire stared dumbly at the thing. "Luckily, you have permission to use one of the special features of this type of training, where time is faster compared to the outside world." Darlena lifted a finger mysteriously to its lips. "Though I hope you'll keep this benefit a secret. It's not something an adventurer will have access to without spending an exorbitant amount of guild points." Claire couldn't believe what she was hearing, thinking of how crazy it sounded. Darlena changed its expression to something more serious. A word of caution. Its eyes looked deep into Claire's. Though it might be tempting to think getting extra time for free is a wonderful thing, such a privilege shouldn't be overly indulged. What do you mean? Claire asked. A part of her was feeling relieved at knowing people weren't desperately searching for her above ground. Another part of her was thinking it was nice to be able to train longer than what time would have normally allowed. But hearing the tone in Darlene's voice, it made her question whether there wasn't some kind of negative consequence to the time distortion.